This tutorial is going to focus on how to create this object, and I'm going to show two different methods for creating the object. So again, when we start, we have our part file, and we need to pick our correct view to start with. And so this one has a distinct L shape on the top view, and the front and the side view has this inclined surface. So we're going to select the top view for this one. So I'm going to create my 2D sketch, and I'm going to select the top plane. Now what's kind of weird when you click on the top plane is it spins around. You'll notice that top is upside down. And so I find that it's easier when you start drawing to go to your home view. And that'll spin the object around. So we want to draw in this direction over here. So I'm going to create my line starting from my origin. And I'm going to go up. And notice that even though I'm on an angle, it still says that it's vertical because I'm following with these lines. So I have my perpendicular. And making sure that everything is perpendicular and parallel to each other as needed to create that shape going in that direction. Then I'm going to dimension it. And so I have 2 squares here and 2 squares there, so I'm going to add 0.5. And then I'm going to make this equal to this. And then they'll share the same size. And so I'll open my object back up and count along my depth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. And again, 6 times 0.25 works for that. If you don't know that 6 quarters is 1.5. Then we got to go across the back. And we can either go the whole length here or this length here. It just matters where we place our dimension. So we'll do the whole back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. 9 times 0.25 gives me my shape. All right. Now I finished my sketch and I'm going to extrude, and it will extrude it up. And so we need to find our height, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares tall. So again, 8 times 0.25. That creates that. Now I have this triangle, and when I create the triangle, we notice it's flat to the bottom and not to the top. So I need to spin my object around. And so on the bottom, I'm going to create my new sketch. And again, this might be a little confusing because you have to know where you are. And this object is not symmetrical, so it's maybe a little easier. You can also see how bottom is written upside down. Or some people find it easier to go back to the home view and draw the diagonal line as seen. So I'm going to do it that way. And again, when I come over here, I want to make sure that I don't end up with that green dot there, because that would be the midpoint. We're not sure if it needs to be on the midpoint, so we'll exaggerate out to the side. But it is touching the front corner. And it's 2 squares away here, so I'll add my dimension of 0.5. So now we're going to finish our sketch and extrude that shape, and it's going in the wrong direction, so I want to flip my direction. And I got to count my squares, and so my last one was 8, and so I can either count up or subtract these 2 squares. Either way, I end up with 6. And that is one way to create the object, probably the easier way to create the object. A different way to create the object has you start in our normal view and to create a box that is the overall dimension of the object. So my height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was 8 last time, still 8 this time. And then across the back is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so we extrude that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what some people choose to do is to create a sketch on the front face. Or on the side face would work. And then remove the material. So I'm going to dimension this line. I'm going to get rid of that material and then add my triangle back. So I'm going to cut that back, which is 1 inch. And then go about kind of what I did the other way, which was to create my triangle surface, dimension my triangle surface, go back to my home view, and extrude it back up the 6 squares. So they both end up looking the same, although my zoom level is different. And again, if you want to be able to see it a little bit better, you go to your view menu, visual style, shaded with edges, and that gives you a little bit of a better idea what it looks like.